Channel 4 News. I'm Alec.
And I'm Benjamin, and we have the latest news on the current events in Berlin.
Well, we figured out that Russia, what they want and demand is complete control over Berlin. And more on this, we have an interview from a man who claimed that he is with the Soviets.
Okay, sir, we have you on air. Now, please tell us what yours and your planned countries are.
Yes, we plan to block off all and any trade supplies being delivered by railroad or by truck.
And why is that?
Well, we want Berlin under our complete control. We believe that it belongs to us Soviets, and we will do whatever it means to take it.
Well, what strategy is all this?
With Berlin starving for food and in need of supplies, we, the Soviets, will be there if and only if they submit to our complete control.
What if the Allies stop you or charge the blockade?
Please, we have all exits sealed off, and no truck or train for yards could get in of that blockade.
Well, there you have it, folks. The Soviets seem very confident in their strategies. Back to you.
And there you have it, folks. We got an interview from the Russian Soviet himself, who claims that he knows and is part of the group. Now, to our field reporter out on the western border of the Berlin blockade. DeAndre?
Thank you, Alec. As you can see in this very desolate area, which was once quite beautiful, green and beautiful, has now turned to quite the warfield due to the Soviets invading West Berlin, cutting off all connections the Allies had tried to be giving. But there is hope, my friend. The Allies have been air supplying goods to West Berlin in order to counteract the Berlin blockade, giving the West Berlinians hope. Hope, you say. Now back to you, Alec.
And now, a special report on a man who's being not only well known here in America, but over there in Berlin, behind the blockade, children everywhere are saying his name, and that is the Candy Bomber. More on this with our special reporter, Celine.
During the Berlin airlift and blockade, there was one particular person whom was admired by many German children. His name was Gail Halverson, or better known as the Candy Bomber. The reason for using that nickname was because during the blockade and airlift, he repeatedly dropped down candy tied to a small parachute to children as he approached the runway at Tempelhof Airport. The idea of dropping down candy to the children came to him when he had a conversation with them as he was taking pictures of the C-54 planes. He took pictures near the fence where the children were watching the planes land, and he started up a conversation with them. As they spoke, the children asked for candy, and luckily for them, he had 2 pieces of gum that were in his pocket and handed the pieces to them. After their conversation, he promised the children he would be back to bring them more candy. Halverson told them that he would drop the candy down as he flew over the airport, and to signal the children that he was approaching, he would wiggle the wings of his plane. As promised, he came back to Tempelhof Airport, wiggled his plane wings, and had his flight engineer drop down 3 bundles of candy tied to small parachutes. Halverson unfortunately couldn't see if the children received the sweets. Later that day, as Halverson taxied his plane to the runway, he gazed over toward the fence and saw 3 small white parachutes waving at him. And for the next few weeks, Halverson repeatedly dropped down candy to the ever-growing crowd of children. Back to you, Alex.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Alec, and this is my good friend Benjamin. We are going to be just giving our general opinions on the Berlin blockade and what we think the Soviets are up to. Benjamin, can you tell me what you think about this whole escapade?
I don't think the Russians really know what they're doing, because if they did, they would know that we have planes and wouldn't just block off with a wall.
I agree. A wall seems very effective on blocking off trucks, trains, cars, and anything by land that would be able to deliver blockade supplies. But if we were back in 18-something before the Wright brothers, I'm sure the Russians would have had a successful victory. But, ladies and gentlemen, it is the future. We have planes. It is the year 1948, and we have planes able to fly over that blockade and dropping off supplies as we speak.
Of course. You know, maybe they didn't think the Allies would come together in such a big way to help Berlin out.
Yes, I agree. There are even stories. I mean, we had a segment about the Candy Bomber earlier, who is making a great impression on the children of Berlin, giving them candy, and the U.S. is helping the Allies as much as they can, flying the planes over the blockade. And personally, I think Russia didn't plan this through all the way.
No, I don't really think they did, because they'd be doing a better job by now because they've seen that we've been flying supplies and still haven't done anything about it.
While this is, ladies and gentlemen, this is a very serious topic, there is disaster and chaos going on inside that blockade, which we cannot cover ourselves because we cannot get in that blockade, let alone get anyone out of there. But if we could, we would show you the terror that's going on. And now, I believe it is time for us to cut out. So, ladies and gentlemen, please support your troops and have a wonderful night. We'll be back after the break.
Good night.
No, Kevin's bad.
And who claimed that he was with the Soviets.
Okay, sir, please tell us what...
No, but not... No! Did you read this? Look! Flash to a black screen.
Oh, please tell me I stopped it. Oh, I didn't stop it. Hold on.
Oh, you just...
I got it.
You pressed them off. You guys are filming, aren't you?
What's the weather? It's cold out here.
There are airplanes everywhere.
No.
It's raining crap.
So we're gonna have a quick come up with after we got like...
Come out to be in the box, and when they come out the box, be like, it's raining. Where is that? Oh, God.